Okay, and we're back to the Prophet 6 tutorials. Today we're going to talk about the LFO section. So there's one LFO, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't totally run around preparing for this, so this is going to be kind of a fun discovery for us together. So I've got my initialized sound, just the ramp wave, and this initially comes assigned to frequency 1, which is interesting. So that's going to be pitch of the first oscillator. So yeah, and we've got several shapes here. We've got a triangle, which is kind of that shape. A sawtooth. We've got a reverse saw. We've got a square, which will warble. And then random. And we can bring in oscillator 2 so you can hear. So yeah, I mean, you can give this a little bit more of a useful type of sound, like a vibrato. If we get this going faster. And so, pitch used sparingly is pretty good. And it just kind of gets it wider and wider. So pretty cool. You can do that on both oscillators. We can also do pulse width modulation. So let's take this, put both of them at the pulse shape, and then we'll play around with the pulse width here. And we'll give it a more. And I think if we play around with the initial pulse width, we get lots of interactions here. Yeah, so there's some nice rhythmic stuff happening there. If we added like a delay to this, let me just turn the whole off. There we go. If we add a delay to this, we could probably get some nice, interesting stuff happening here. So that's just a thought. We have amplitude modulation, so we can works like tremolo, and you can do fun stuff with this with square waves and so. Let's get it going a little faster. Let's try sawtooth. We might have to slow this down. Interesting. We'll have to look into why that's not as intense as I think it should be. Okay. There we go. So there's your tremolo effect and different shapes thereof. We also have filter effects. So this is interesting because there's a low and a high pass filter, right? So, if we take our cutoff, and my thought is we can get this to the point where we get probably no sound at all. If we get them both working. So here's both filters being modulated by the LFO. So that's kind of fun. So we've got major modulation of two filters. And then we've got different shapes of that. Oh man, that's pretty cool. And we could probably, use this in real time, right? So yeah, there's just an idea of that, turning down the amount of the LFO as we're going. So really great stuff there. Lots of interesting sounds. So I hope this gives you some ideas.